What are you buying? What are you selling? Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Alright, you know what? You Steam Deck fans are getting too spoiled, man. Really spoiled. So, Resident Evil 4, the remake, needs 8 gigs of RAM, right? How much does the Steam Deck has? 16. Yeah, you Steam Deck fans are getting too spoiled, man. Spoiled. But you earned it, man. You earned it. Resident Evil 4 on a portable. So you put a 2 terabyte SSD in your Steam Decks. Okay, all right. Then you got your 1.5 terabyte SD card from Micron. And let's not forget about JSOCs. Yeah, you Steam Deck fans. You and your Steam Decks. Anyway, what's up, Steam Deck fans? Steam Deck Tribe, Steam Deck Nation, Steam Deck Universe, Steam Deck World, Steam Deck Legion, what's good? Steam Deck Mob, what's up? The Steam Deck Squad, we outside. Anyway, I'm sitting here playing around here. Resident Evil 4, the remake on the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck has 16 gigs of RAM in it. And you only need 8. That game is gonna run smooth on that little powerhouse. Yeah. It's Steam Deck is no joke, man. Valve, you guys are a fool for this one. Anyway, Resident Evil 4 remake system requirements. Says here, surviving Resident Evil 4 remake PC specs won't require a powerful system, but Capcom reimagined horror game will pack plenty for modern rigs. Yeah, including the Steam Deck. What you saying? Anyway, it says here, what are the Resident Evil 4 remake system requirement? Like its predecessor before it, the beloved survival horror game is returning to terrify us with newly reimagined mechanics and visuals. The Steam Deck way. Anyway, despite launching 2 years later, fans of the previous entry in the series, Village will be pleased to know that Resident Evil 4 Remake demands the exact same hardware specification. That's right, the Resident Evil 4 Remake specs are exactly the same as RE Village. And Resident Evil Village is on the Steam Deck, right? Steam Deck fans, get out of here. Anyway, look, it says here, you guys are getting spoiled, man. It says here, that's right, the Resident Evil 4 Remake specs are exactly the same as RE Village. You won't need to reach for the best gaming CPU, as processor comparable to AMD Ryzen 3 1200 or Intel i5 7500 will do just fine. Don't forget to pair your chip with 8 gigs of RAM too. Says here, OS minimum requirements: OS Windows 10 64-bit, CPU Intel's Core i5 7500, AMD Ryzen 3 1200, RAM 8 gigs, GPU NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti, 8 AMD Radeon RX 5560, and storage to be announced. Anyway, then it says recommended is Windows 10 64-bit, Intel's i7 8700, AMD Ryzen 5 3600, and then 16 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070, that's for GPU that is, and AMD Radeon RX 5700, and then it says storage TBC. So anyway, meanwhile, Capcom reckons that NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti or AMD Ryzen RX 580 packs enough pixel push power to get its reimagining running. Naturally, that comes with the usual compromise for less than stellar image quality and performance, but AMD FSR should help boost FPS if you're in a tight spot. Moving up to Resident Evil 4 Remake recommends specs. Thankfully, doesn't require the best graphics card, as NVIDIA GTX 1070 or AMD RX 5700 will set you up for 60 frames per second at 1080p. However, you'll need Radeon RX 6000 or GeForce RTX 2000 series or better to enable ray tracing, NVIDIA DLSS on the latter. Then it says here, processor requirements are jumped to Intel iCore i7-8700 or AMD Ryzen 5 36 at the tier. In addition, to necessary RAM capacity doubling to 16 gigs. Strangely, Capcom hasn't included Resident Evil 4 Remake size info within its spec list, but you've got plenty of time to pick the best SSD for gaming before the Resident Evil 4 Remake release date arrives. Take the Resident Evil 4 system requirement test over on PC Game Benchmark to answer the question, can I run Resident Evil 4 Remake? Well, the Steam Deck fan are going to have a blast with this one because Resident Evil Village is on the Steam Deck. So for a remake, oh yeah, Steam Deck fans are just sitting there just looking. They're just sitting there just waiting. Yeah, you Steam Deck fans, man, getting too spoiled, man. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Play at home or play on the go. Anywhere. And now you got, and then you add that Micron SD card, that 1.5 terabyte SD card that's coming with a 2 terabyte SSD inside your Steam Deck. Oh yeah, you guys are what's that word? Good. Yeah, you guys are covered, man. You guys are just having a blast with this thing. Because remember, Resident Evil Village is already on the Steam Deck already. So 4 Village is higher. 4 is like down here. You know, so because 4 came out first, but then Village came out after. Because you had 4, then you had Code Veronica, you had 5, 6, 7. You know, yeah. So you guys are good, man. What, 8 gigs of RAM for minimum? The Steam Deck is gonna have fun with that. Oh yeah, with AMD's FSR. Oh yeah, just off 8 gigs of RAM alone. Oh yeah, you guys are good, man. You guys are good for the Steam Deck. Oh yeah, because man, you guys are just getting loaded with games. The year, what? We're on the 10th day of the year, or what? The 16th, something like that, and you guys are just having a blast with this thing. The amount of games you guys are getting. Now, can you catch up to gaming on Linux? You got 2,600, but then there's some gamers out there that have to have more than that. Have a blast, man. Have a blast. Yeah, you guys are loaded, man. When it comes to games, it's like games update, games update, games update, or is it update games, update games? Yeah, you guys are covered, man. So that game, it will run on the Steam Deck, definitely. Because 4 was on the GameCube, 4 was on the PS2, 4 was on the 4 was on the GameCube, 4 was on the PS2, 4 they remade 4 for the Wii, but you can play it on the Wii U since it's backwards compatible with Wii U. But all they did was remade the game, so probably improve a lot of things. So yeah, you guys are gonna have some fun with this one, man. That Valve came out. We could not find a game. The Steam Deck could not run. It's been lights out ever since, man. Yep. Patches, updates. I mean, yeah. That little handheld is doing damage, you know. It's doing damage, and you got a lot of games that are coming down the month for the rest of the year. A lot of games. You know? Yep, and you can connect that thing to your TV, your monitor. Yeah, you guys are loaded with games. dropped this thing at the right time too. At the right time, in the middle of a pandemic. And they stepped their game up, man, and this thing is just, it's doing its thing, man. Yeah. And you can play all the, Batman Arkham games on them. And Gotham Knights. Play all your Spider-Man. You got Final Fantasy VII Remake. Crisis Core. Elder Scrolls Online. Well, speaking of which, Elder Scrolls Online got a new expansion coming. You got, yeah. That little handheld is no joke, man. When you really look at it, you can run a lot of games on the, on the Steam Deck, and, it's gonna get, it's getting better and better, And Valve took the lead in this, like when it comes to communication, they open a line of communication, like, instead of like, because they really want to know how the users felt about it, and I'm sure they got the feedbacks that they needed, and they're making that, they're making the experience better. When Sony teased the Steam Deck fans with their exclusive, it was over. I was like, oh my, it was over then. Then here comes Xbox, and then yeah, Steam Deck is good, man. That handheld is doing damage for what it can do, and now you got so many games. Got a lot of games coming, a lot of updates. Yeah, you are definitely getting your money's worth with the Steam Deck. You're definitely getting your money's worth. Oh yeah, definitely. People took shots at it. But now they're regretting it. Now they're regretting it because that little handheld is just, it's just doing, it's doing what it's supposed to do. You're taking a portable PC on the go with you. A portable PC on the go with you. And you bring all your games and music and movies on a train, bus, plane, out on the ship. Yeah, you guys are good, man. So yeah, Valve, they weren't playing around, They weren't playing around. Xbox threw their support, Xbox threw their support behind it. Oh yeah. And Apple users love it. Windows users love it. PlayStation and Xbox love it. Oh yeah, they're having fun with this thing, man. This thing, that little handheld is doing damage. Now, as far as the Steam Deck 2 goes, I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, leave this video for y'all on the trip. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing for Dark Side. Go. Peace.